the Box started about 20 to 25 years ago in southern India, and it started because particularly in impoverished areas there was not much resource. In fact, there were no roads even. Government programs were failing because they would have a government program implemented top-down from the central government, prescribed curriculum that the teacher had to follow, and then several students succeeded and several students failed. Typically, for example, girls had to stay at home either to look after a younger sibling or to take care of household work. So they couldn't, if they missed a few days from school, for example, they'd fail an entire grade because they couldn't make it in class. So to address some of these things, and the teachers themselves got very bored with the kinds of curriculums that were being prescribed. So School in a Box started as a sort of response where essentially what happens is some of the people who are involved in designing these learning environments, you start with a community and go into a village, which is often a fairly remote area. And it starts with getting the people of the village together and finding out if they really want to create a school in their village. So it starts with organizing a village commons. And so the school village people get involved in building a school. It can be with the kinds of materials that are available in that particular environment, right? So they build a school. Often mothers are involved in actually deciding what kind of teacher, what kind of curriculum. Grandmother's tales are incorporated in the curriculum. Teacher is usually a teacher from nearby areas. So that's one aspect of sort of designing a school from scratch with basic resources and ingredients. The next aspect is the whole school, the classroom that you saw there is developed on the basis of what's called a ladder. So there's often introduction, reinforcement, evaluation, and often activities that further the understanding. Okay, this whole sequence of activities. So what happens typically if a student comes in and they drop off for a few years, they're unwell, or they have to attend to some household work, then the student can come back. If they were on segment 5, for example, then they can come back maybe to segment 4 or 3 and pick up from where they left off and continue, right? So it isn't a classroom that's designed where there are certain students who are passing and failing. It's a multi-age classroom, as some of you already noted. So an older sibling can actually bring a younger one instead of staying at home to look after the younger sibling, right? Can bring a younger sibling, and then actually both of them can learn and both of them can teach each other. The way the classroom itself is organized, for example, is there are several zones in the classroom, right? So it's so you have the basic ingredients for the learning ladder, and it's all here in a simple bag. And then what else do you have? You have how do we organize a classroom? So it's just very basic. If we can figure out, without being dogmatic about it, what kind of learning activities lend themselves to being supported by the teacher. So there is a zone called teacher-supported learning, or teacher-supported zone. There's another zone up there which is called partly teacher-supported, where the teacher intervenes now and then. There's another zone which is peer-supported, where the learning, what kind of activities lend themselves to students figuring out amongst each other, rather than the teacher actually instructing, right? Or even supporting that activity. So what kind of activities lend themselves to peer-supported learning? And then the final one is self-study. What kind of activities lend themselves for us to figure out things by ourselves individually, right? So as teachers, and that's what seems quite exciting to me, if we can figure out, again without being dogmatic about it, what kind of activities are we going to have in a classroom? Where is a teacher necessary? Where is a teacher actually unnecessary? And students can actually learn this better by sharing amongst each other and teaching each other. And what kind of activities can students actually figure out by themselves, for themselves?